Welcome, fam. I'm Iona Renee. This is Domesticated Me 2.0. Welcome to the show. As always, I hope we have a really great time today. We're going to make it great.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. Iona Renee domesticated me. I'm here because I want to talk about this polarizing energy that is just seemingly running through our atmosphere. It is like sprinting through our atmosphere. My thought process right now is what is happening is we are in a time of spiritual warfare like never before. Like we literally are in a time of spiritual warfare. It is attacking us. It is causing a lot of hate, despair, anxiety, and anger in our lives. And we see it. It's out there. And my thought is how do we individually affect the collectiveness of this all? Because it's really an individual thing. It really is an individual thing, my people. And I'm going to start off by saying this. Jesus, the man, the Messiah, the prophet, the teacher, whatever label you place on him, he's the prime example. He brought a light into this world for self-realization, redeeming, and he showed that through his behavior. He was crucified, ran out of town. All kind of things happened to this man. Yet his actions still were that of love. They still was that of love. He never, ever, ever came back with a vibration or an action that was justified. He never did it. And so he is the prime example for what I'm talking about today. So how do we do that? How do we understand that if we're vibrating on a level of anger and giving out anger, that we're hurting our higher self before we can hurt anybody else? Our higher self is our own internal being, because we're all spiritual beings living a human experience. And that's what interconnects us spiritually, right? Right? We're interconnected spiritually because of that. And Jesus didn't come to form no religion. So I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your spirituality, who you are. So when a person does something and you try to give them back exactly what they gave you, then what happens is you are harming yourself. Animosity has proven to be poison to the body. So you got to build up animosity inside of you, this adrenaline and all of that, the adrenaline, you poison yourself. That's through your actions, your words, and your communication, even if it's written. So we just have to be careful. So individually, if we do that, we can affect the collective. Same thing that there's a saying about if you pick up a stone and you try to, a hot coal and you try to cast it, you got to burn yourself first. Why would you want to burn yourself just to throw something at someone else? It's the same thing internally. Your spirit. You're harming your spirit by feeling justified in the next thing. When things are coming towards you, you called them. So I think the first thing that we should do is realize, how did we call it? It's inside of us. It's making us call it. It's saying, come here, come here. So what is it that we need to deal with? This energy at the Capitol House, where all this stuff happened, And now you don't even have to be in DC for this anger and despair to come into your space. It's happening. I know several people that it's happening in their homes. No, it's not because of your color in your home, but it's still the same force. It's still the same negative force that is hopping from spirit to spirit. And in order to stop it, we have to know how to not react. There's a poem that I like, one of my favorite poems, and there's a piece from that poem. And it says that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. I truly believe that. I believe that that is so. I believe that it is so much so that I know that every time I react in a negative way towards something, that is on me. I can control my reaction. I can't control what the next person did. And it's not an excuse for the abuser. It's not an excuse for somebody that is mentally draining on you, because they do need to be dealt with. They need to deal with themselves. But you have to deal with your reaction in it too, so you don't harm yourself. If they're harming you and then you also is giving that back, you're harming you too. You don't want two people harming you. You and the other person. How do we give back love, peace, and that in which Jesus asked us to give back every single time? By knowing our reaction does not have to match another person's action. We don't have to be justified in that because another person did this, I'm going to do that. It's just going to continue putting us on this downward spiral to killing ourselves spiritually, harming ourselves, messing up our higher good. And at the end of the day, if the outside force is really intending that for you, they win. Right? If the person that is causing this to you has you act in this way, they actually win. If there's a winner or a loser in this, they're the ones that actually win, because your reaction was so that it harmed your higher good. It harmed who you are. We are peace, love, and joy. All the other stuff is nonsense. It's nonsense. Vibrate on love, peace, and joy, because sometimes you just have to ignore. Ignore those things that are coming towards you so fast and so difficultly, so fast and so furious, and affecting you in such a way where you can't thrive, you can't get along because of what you're allowing. You control that. You don't control the other person, what they did, how they did it, how they act. But you control how you respond to how they act, so that you can stop killing you, so your spirit can thrive, so your love can glow, so your light can show, so you can be exactly who Jesus told you you are. The power that is already within you. None of us should be in search of something that is in us already. God, that spark of God in you, in me, in all of us is there for the asking, for the taking, for everything. And I'm not talking religion, guys. I'm not talking your denomination. I'm not talking you got to be Baptist, you got to be Pentecostal. Oh, it's non-denominational now. I don't subscribe to this. No, I'm talking about a relationship with your spiritual self that conquers all. That love that conquers all. Having self-control, showing love no matter what. And if you say that you're showing love and you're out here speaking a certain way, writing a certain way, attacking people even for their poor behaviors, for your judgment, then I'm going to tell you, you harming yourself. That's straight out. Your higher good is being harmed by what you're doing. Your higher good is being harmed by your reaction. And I know you're justified, and I know you feel justified. I felt justified. I felt like you need to get this. You know, streets, I ain't no punk. I felt that same way. But when I really think about it, I burn myself so bad. I burn myself so bad and give another person satisfaction. Another person's satisfaction because of my reaction. Because of my reaction. Well, Iona Renee, love you. I'm working on me. I'm working on my healing, and you helping me with that. And I really appreciate it. So if you appreciate me like I appreciate you, then you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and share with your peeps. Because I'm telling you, it's someone else out here that needs to hear this. And when I say separately, we join collectively to make a difference, not only in ourselves, but in the world that's around us. We do. I'll see you next time on Domesticated Me.